Let's look at area of a square. Now, area of a square is very, very simple as long as you know what one side is. Because if one side is S, say for example, then the other side is also S. And that means all the other sides are also S too. So a square, all sides are equal. So to get the area of it, remember how to get a square, we do length times width. But because the two sides are equal, we just need to do S times S. Now that gives us S squared, doesn't it? So it's a square number. Okay? Just as long as you know one side, just square it or multiply it by itself and get the area. It's very, very simple. So let's go straight into question 1. It says find the area of a square. Now it tells us that one side is 4 centimeters, which means the other side must also be 4 centimeters. So we multiply the two together to get area, length times width, isn't it? So 4 times 4 is 16. And that's same as doing 4 squared, isn't it? So it's a square number, that gives us 16. And don't forget your units, centimeters squared. Don't forget to put that because a lot of teachers like to cut you down marks if you don't put the right units. Okay guys, so keep your mind on that. Let's move on to the next one. Question 2. A square has an area of 25 meters squared. Find the length of one side. So it tells us that 25 meters squared is the area. So they give us the area first. So guys, this is the side. So if that's the side, this is also the side. Those two sides are equal in length. So tell me, to get the area, we have to multiply these two together. But those two are equal numbers. So what two equal numbers multiply to 25? Now think of it this way guys, 25 is a square number. 25, we know that it's 5 squared. So therefore, we can say 5 times 5 gives us 25. So this side, one of them, must just be 5 centimeters. Sorry, 5 meters. Again, you got to get the units right. So 5 meters would be the value of one side. Okay, so get your head around these square numbers. Let's do question 3. A square has an area of 24 meters squared. Find the length of one side, correcting to 3 decimal places. So they give us the area of the square, which is 24 meters squared, but to get one side, unfortunately this time it's not as simple as question 2 because it's not a square number. 24 is not a square number. So to get from a square value to a normal value, we have to square root. The opposite of squaring is square rooting, isn't it? And that will lead us to get one of the sides, which is pretty much all of the sides, isn't it? So let's put that in the calculator because we have to round it to 3 decimal places. So let's grab our calculator. I've got mine ready here. Let's put the values in. So first of all, we need to root it, don't we? So the first thing we do is use our root button. So let's press the root button. And then we're going to type in our 24. So let's start with pressing our 2. Let's press 4. And then we've got it in. Yeah, so 24 is done. So now we have to press equal, and then the value will appear on the screen. But we don't want to insert form. We want it in decimal form, don't we? So guys, if you want to convert between third form to decimal, fractions to decimals, or vice versa, whatever method whatever order, if you want to convert between those, we use this button over here. If you see this button here, you can see that button is used to convert between different forms. So I'm simply going to press that button, just press it, and then it's going to give us to you in decimal form. Now you can see we want to round it in 3 decimal places, and you can see that the fourth one is bigger than 5, so we're going to round the previous one up by 1, so the answer simply becomes 4.899 meters. So that's the value of one side. Make sense, guys? That's it. So you just got to utilize your calculator. Alright, let's move on to question 4. A square has an area of 18 meters squared. Find the length of one side, leaving in third. So we've got to leave it in third form, which means exact form. So we don't need our calculator here. Now, again, 18 is not a square number, so to get one side, we have to square root it. Now I know that 18 is 9 times 2. 9 is 3 times 3, isn't it? The reason why I chose 9 is because it's a square number and I can change it to 3 times 3. So these pairs, I can take the 3 out, so only one of the 3, and then the 2 is the only one that stays out. Because this is a square number, if I take it out, it just becomes 1 and goes outside. It's 1, 3. And then it becomes root 2 meters. So that's in third form. That's the value of the side. Alright, question 5. The area of a square is equal to its perimeter. Find the length of one side. So this particular square is quite unique because the area of itself is equal to the perimeter of itself. So we have to equate them. So If the length is x, for example, guys, if I let x be the length of one side, then to get the area, we can say that the area is x squared. Because remember how we do x, if this is x, this is also x. So we do x times x, or x squared, which gives us the area. Now perimeter is the length of all the outside lengths, isn't it? This is x, this is x, this is x, and that is also x. So we have 4 lots of x's. So x plus x plus x plus x, 4 lots of x's will give us 4x. So that's the perimeter. Now the question says the area and the perimeter are equal, so I'm going to equate them. The area equals to the perimeter. I just equated them. Now both sides have common factors of x. I'm going to cancel by x on both sides, so divide by x on both sides. So x squared will become x. 4x, the x will cancel and just become 4. So I've got x. And remember guys, we let x be the length of the side. So therefore we can say that the one of the sides, or pretty much all of the side lengths, is 4 units. That's the answer to this one.